President Trump just posted on Truth Social, Iran has gone through a very productive regime change. At the same time, Iranians are flooding the streets of Tehran celebrating a victory. Both sides are declaring they won. After 20 years operating in the deep, I'm going to tell you what's actually on the table, what Iran's 10-point plan really demands, and why the gap is the most important thing happening in the world right now. So here is Donald Trump's response. He posted this morning. And you'll notice something different when we get to the bottom of this. It says the United States will work closely with Iran, which we have determined has gone through what will be a very productive regime change. There will be no enrichment of uranium. So he pinpoints that out very, very pointedly and very direct. The United States will work with Iran to dig up and remove all deeply buried B-2 bombers' nuclear dust. Basically meaning that's why the dust is buried, because of our B-2s. Then he goes on to say, it is now and has been under very exacting satellite surveillance. Space Force. So he just gave away what Space Force, one of their roles and responsibility is, for those that didn't know. Nothing has been touched from the date of the attack. So Trump is saying all the uranium is still buried intact. We are and will be talking tariff and sanctions relief with Iran. Many of the 15 points have already been agreed to. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now, the problem last night was we were doing the live stream, and the CNN and all of these other doomer little groups and fake news media were coming out with 10 points. And the president actually came out and said this needs to be investigated. They're putting out fake news. They're causing problems globally. But let's start what Trump said. He used the words regime change. Now, militarily, that means you removed the government. You decapitated the leadership, their entire structure. That did not happen. The Ayatollah's successor, I think the son that could be one of the warriors, the password people, he's still in power. We've not seen him, but apparently he's in power. Maybe the cardboard cutout. The IRGC command structure is intact. The parliament is still functioning. So when Trump says regime change, he's not using it the way a military planner uses it. He's using it the way a deal maker uses it. He's saying they blinked. They came to the table. That's his version of regime change. Behavioral, not structural. But we're going to get there. Now, here's where it gets interesting. He says nuclear dust. That's referring to the B-2 strikes on Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. The bunker busters, they buried the centrifuges, collapsed the tunnels, turned the enrichment infrastructure into rubble, and he says Space Force is watching. Nothing's moved. He's telling you and he's telling Tehran, we own the overhead. We see everything. Don't try to rebuild in the dark or we'll turn the lights out permanently. Here's the part that nobody's asking about. Trump says the deal has 15 points. Nobody has seen those 15 points. Not Congress, not the media, not you, not me. That number is hanging out there with zero verification, and everybody just moved on. But this is directly from the president, that there are 15 points. So don't believe half of this crap that you're seeing on the news. And don't move on. That matters. Here's what should bother you about this entire situation. Trump says 15 points. Nobody's seen them. Iran has not published a single demand, not one. There is no official Iranian framework, no public counterproposal, no stated terms, nothing. And that CNN list that went viral, the one with 10 demands, Iran keeps enrichment. U.S. troops leave, reparations, all of that. Fake. It's been debunked. CNN ran an unverified list, and the entire internet built analysis on top of something that was never real. Every pundit who went on TV and said Iran is demanding X was reacting to a lie. So let me tell you where that leaves us. The President of the United States says there's a 15-point deal. The other side hasn't confirmed what's in it. The only terms that went public were fake, and negotiations start Friday. Now, I'm going to show you something here that is very interesting. This is President Donald Trump posting on Truth Social what Iran has given out as information. You can see here, on behalf of the Islamic Republic, I express gratitude and appreciation for my dear brothers, Prime Minister of Pakistan. They helped negotiate the deal. In response to the brotherly request of PM Sharif in his tweet, and considering the request by the U.S. for negotiations based on its 15-point proposal, as well as an announcement by POTUS about the acceptance of general framework of Iran's 10-point proposal as a basis for negotiations, thereby declare on behalf of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, if attacks against Iran are halted, our powerful armed forces will cease their defensive operations. Now, I don't even know how real this is. This could be manufactured, but it's got the Donald Trump at Real Donald Trump Truth Social post. So I'm going to go with it's verified by him, by his team. For a period of 2 weeks, safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz will be possible via coordination with Iran's armed forces with due consideration of technical limitations. And then whatever his name is here at the bottom. So we've got multiple flows of information that I don't know if we can really believe anything yet. Donald Trump is the master of the deal. And with the deal comes back and forth. You go big, they respond, you back away, you come back, and you come to an agreement. Now, the other thing that you're noticing is the same people that were freaking out when Donald Trump said he was going to end the civilization are now upset that he didn't follow through. That's what should bother a lot of you. Now, I want to show you something else here that's very interesting that is going to change the dynamic around the world. This is from the verified Rapid Response 47. This is an official White House account. A country supplying military weapons to Iran will be immediately tariffed on any and all goods sold to the United States of America, effective immediately. There will be no exclusions or exemptions. It will be a 50% tariff. President Donald J. Trump. This is huge. This is what should really bother you about this entire situation. Because with a 50% tariff, who supplies Iran with most of everything? Who is the biggest consumer of Iran's oil? It's going to be Russia. It's going to be China. Who supplies a vast majority of the rubber dog crap that is in Walmart around the United States? I'm going to go with China. If China is confirmed to being supplying Iran, then that tells me one of the world's largest retail businesses, Walmart, is about to get hit with a 50% tariff on all goods and purchases that they make through China. That is huge. That is massive. But this entire situation could be much clearer if CNN and these other fake news outlets had not ran with garbage. And CNN, that list, it went viral. The one with the 10 demands, Iran keeps enrichment, United States troops leave, reparations, all of that. It's all fake, unverified. And all of the talking heads that ran with it, in my opinion, if they're on X, they should be demonetized for fake news. That's what needs to happen. When you start encouraging truth the liars get exposed. But here's the timeline that matters. The ceasefire expires in 14 days. Negotiations start in Islamabad on Friday. Pakistan's brokering a deal. Vice President J.D. Vance is in that area. The deal between the United States and Iran. And if that sentence doesn't tell you how strange this moment is, nothing will. J.D. Vance, the vice president, called this a fragile truce. That's unusually candid thing for the number two in an administration to say publicly. He's managing expectations. He's telling you this might not hold because for 50 years, Iran can't be trusted. We know that. We know what they've done. And then you have another country that is trying to leverage their own proxy war in Lebanon against Hezbollah. And for everyone that says Trump takes marching orders from Israel, rethink your entire perspective on the United States. So now you've got a ceasefire where the mediator, the U.S., Iran, and Israel all have different definitions of what was agreed to. What you're seeing on the news is 90% fake because they just want clicks. This is not a peace deal right now. This is a time out. And I'll just say this. I'm going to give you the veteran read on this. Iran needed this ceasefire. Their air defense network was degraded, maybe destroyed. Their nuclear infrastructure was systematically destroyed over 40 days. Their fuel reserves were hit. Their command and control was disrupted. They were absorbing punishment they could not answer. In military terms, they were taking water and they were sinking fast. They were out of propulsion and they couldn't get to the surface. But here's what they did. They negotiated their way out without publishing terms. They got a ceasefire. They got some breathing room. And their people are dancing in the streets, claiming they won. And they stood up to the white devil, the same country they've been saying death to America for 50 years. They did all of that without putting a single demand on the public record. Is that a win? Is it a loss? On the American side, Trump declared victory, said regime change, posted a number, 15, that only he and his team know about. And I'll say this, I'm glad that that's the only people that know about it. In submarine terms, both sides are running silent. They're telling you what they want to hear and what you want to hear on the surface while the real maneuvering happens underneath. And when both sides in a conflict go dark on the specifics at the same time, that either means we're really close to a deal or there is no deal. And everyone's just buying time to regroup, lick their wounds. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.